Hey guys, welcome back. It's Two Dudes, One Dredge. James behind me, Brennan here, and we are at a public mining spot that we're gonna check out. We've never dredged here before, but we've panned it a couple of times, and there's still gold around. It floods, you know, every spring, and it's still a little early for us to get into our claim, so we are just kind of biding our time and doing something different. But here we are in Hope, Alaska, Resurrection Creek. We've already chit-chatted with a few other miners. There's 3 or 4 dredgers way upstream there, and there's a couple of friendly dredgers downstream too, getting their work in. We're limited to 4-inch dredge this time, so we'll be running the Franken dredge and seeing what we can come up with. You know, the area's been historically mined pretty much all the way out, but there's still gold up in them hills flooding down into the creek every spring, so we're gonna see what we can come up with. Hey y'all, just took my shift. James hopped right in, and being that we're newbies to the area, we don't quite know what we're looking for down here. There's quite a bit of like unsorted loose gravels that we can assume are other people's tailings or fresh flood gravels from spring melt upstream somewhere. And we found a little patch of packed clay and conglomerate rock and boulders, cobbles really, and whatnot. So we're poking in there and seeing what comes up. Nothing shiny in the box yet, but there's a lot of overburden and a lot of heavies, black sand and stuff. So we're gonna have a heck of a time panning here in a bit, but we'll show you what we get if we get anything, and check in later.
That's a lot of magnetic black sand.
There's some nice rusty nails. All the good stuff.
I think we probably only ran for maybe
2 hours.
2 hours tops. Yeah. So 2 hours here. And you know, this area's been worked really hard, I think.
Since the late 1800s.
The current is really strong anywhere just outside of the closest to the bank. So, you know, that's where we're having to work to just be able to stay on the bottom, even with all our weights. It is just ripping out there. It might not look like it, but it really is. So we're panning down about 2 hours worth of concentrates out of the 4-inch dredge.
Definitely saw some color already, which is nice, but won't know how much till we get down there. Fair bit of lead.
Oh, there's some gold in there though. Unless my eyes deceive me.
Sure looked like it. Maybe a piece with some mercury on it.
I gotta say, that's more than I expected to find.
This is certainly bigger pieces than I was expecting to
Right.
find. That's a nice piece there. Not too bad at all. Lead, lead, lead. There you go, guys. You can see the pretty clear difference in the pan here. The like gray, dark lead. And the silvery stuff is actually a mercury amalgam. Back in the day, they used to dump mercury into the rivers and suck it back up, or use it in sluice boxes, and it just globs onto gold like this, dissolves it almost.
Yeah, even that big piece has a little bit of mercury on it.
Morning, y'all. We're on day 2 here. Had some friends show up and set up a little dredge downstream here. James is just helping them with a rock jam, it looks like. But I've taken a shift already and moved the boat up here quite a little bit. Down and moving big boulders out of the way, trying to stick to this weird tan clay layer that you might have seen on our underwater footage yesterday. And we had that one nice piece that was covered in mercury amalgam, and then there's a couple of visible pieces in the box already, which I'm pretty impressed with. See if I can point them out to you. Little 22 or something bullet, but there's a piece of gold right here in the mat, and then another little piece right down here before the bar, all under the expanded metal that we installed last year. So that's looking pretty hopeful for good cleanup today. And all right, James's shift is done. Gonna warm up a little bit, but I just plonked a couple of bigger flakes out of the miner's moss, so we're on something here. We're gonna keep working it, break for lunch, and get back in there.
All right, we got Brennan in the water, running his second shift of the day. We're gonna take you guys down while we got some good sunlight and see if we can see any visible gold, or at least see this little 4-inch in action.
Hey y'all, so we're back in town. Cleaned up last night and put everything in the same snuffer bottle and lead separated once it's dry, and get the gold cleaned up and weigh it up for you and see what we took home from Resurrection Creek there. All right, we got everything all cleaned up. Use the old blowtorch to roast off the mercury. Definitely do that outside with good ventilation, because that stuff will kill you. But got a little more than we were anticipating. It's hovering around 1.8 grams.
What?
There's some thicker pieces in there, and you know, I calibrated the scale, made sure everything was good, and it's, you know, we're outside, so it's a little windy and it's bobbing around, but we'll call it 1.8 for now. And good start to the season. You know, we kind of went in with minimal expectations, and just good to get back in the water and, you know, get back to dredging. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys for our next video, hopefully back on our claim with the bigger dredge and better gold.